Hello, beloved. Welcome back to the Unity Garden Kitchen. If we haven't met yet, I'm Stephanie Bandozik. I'm a Reiki healer, an energy alchemist, a storyteller. I'm from upstate New York, where it is frigid right now, and I love all things natural wellness. Now, I am not able to dig in the Unity Garden yet in Zone 5B where I am, but I am dreaming of the garden, and today I'm working on a tofu dish, General Tso's sweet and spicy tofu. So I would love to encourage you to give this a try. It's a super simple dish. If you don't have all the ingredients or you don't like any of the ingredients, go ahead and substitute. We have to enjoy life by making things our own. So the first thing that I did is I drained and I chopped some tofu. Super simple. I think this is extra firm tofu. I've also done it with firm tofu, so I don't think I'd go with anything super soft, but in general, use what you have. In a dish, I combined cornmeal, a little bit of cornstarch, and for seasoning, cumin, my favorite, one of my favorites. So that's all I have to bread it with is some cornmeal, some cumin for spice, and some cornstarch, which is supposed to help crisp it up a little. I've tried it a couple times. I'm not sure I'm convinced it makes any difference because most of the time I just use cornmeal and cumin and it comes out great. So I've drained and chopped my tofu. I'm gonna roll it around in my dish until it's coated. And then on my baking tray, all I have is olive oil. So onto an olive oil baking tray, coat, and lay. After I have filled up this tray, I'm going to put it into an oven at about 450 for about 20 to 30 minutes. I'll know when it's done when the pieces of tofu will slide around easily. So I will stick a fork into the oven and I will just try to push one or two of these little pieces around. If they're still sticking, I know they're not done, and I give it another 5 minutes, 10 minutes or so. If they start to slide around easily, then I know that they're done, and what I'm going to do is flip them over and give them another 20 minutes or so, 15 to 20 minutes. They need a little less on the second side, I think, than the first side for my taste, but your oven may be a little different than mine. I do have a very old oven, so watch your tofu, and when it starts to slide around, give it a little flip. And while this is in the oven, I'm going to work on the simple sauce. Okay, while my breaded tofu is baking, I'm going to prepare the sauce. There are 5 ingredients. Hopefully you have most of these on hand. The first one is apple cider vinegar. Some maple syrup. I'm using local maple syrup from Slate Valley Farms for the sweet. It's also really healthy for you too, as far as sugars go. I am using Bragg's liquid aminos. This is what I use in place of soy sauce. So for the salty soy sauce flavor, I'm using Bragg's liquid aminos. I do not like my food salty, so I go very light on this, and then I taste it and I add more of whatever ingredient I need as I go. Some toasted sesame oil, just a little bit of oil, because the toasted sesame oil really gives it that Chinese food flavor to me. So I really like to use toasted sesame oil anytime I'm making a homemade Chinese food dish. And then of course the hot to the sweet and hot sauce, some red pepper flakes. Use what you have, use what you like. So I have 5 ingredients in my sauce. I have apple cider vinegar, that gives it some tang. I've got my maple syrup for the sweet, Bragg's liquid aminos. You could use soy sauce if that's what you have on hand. And a little bit of toasted sesame oil. You could definitely leave that out. And red pepper flakes. Go easy or go heavy depending on how spicy you like your food. I'm gonna put this on the stove on low medium heat, and I don't really want it to boil, maybe not even really simmer, but it is gonna thicken up a little bit because that maple syrup is gonna thicken if I give it some time on the heat while my baked tofu is still in the oven. So I'm gonna get this on the stove and meet you back here and show you how it comes out. Okay, I'm giving my tofu a check, and you can see that with just a little push of the fork, they're moving around nicely, so it's time to flip. Look at those beautiful red pepper flakes in there. It's gonna be so delicious. It smells so good. Thanks so much for joining me for General Tso's tofu. If you make this dish, please let me know how you like it. And if you enjoyed this recipe, I would so appreciate if you liked and subscribed and shared it with a friend who might find it useful too. I am sending you love, light, peace, blessings, and joy. Take care of yourself and take care of each other.